Hi, and welcome to the Smart Beach Investor Weekly Market Update. My name is John Moran. I head up the At the Beach team here with Keller Williams Realty. We specialize in helping people like you buy, sell, and own vacation rentals, second, third, fourth homes, things like that here at the beach. The purpose for these updates is to give you insight as to what's happening here locally on Florida's Emerald Coast. Of course, we'll throw in some national stuff too. Mortgage rates, migration trends, what's happening in that 9-hour drive arc where most of our renters and owners live. Things like that impact what happens here, no doubt. But most of the information we cover is local stats, trends, and my experience, knowledge, and expertise having sold more than 1,500 properties here over the last 20 years. I also own several properties, and we have a property management business with more than 80 doors now. Here's the deal. I want to help you make good real estate decisions. If you're a seller, should you sell now? When should you sell? Strategies on how to get the highest price possible when you do decide to sell. If you're a buyer, how to buy, where to buy, when to buy, all that stuff, right? And how to get the best deal possible. I mean, that's really what we want. If you're not doing either of those, you're just going to hold on to your property. Then we need to talk about how to maximize your rental income and reduce your overhead expense. I mean, that's what we do here. We're trying to max out your position as a buyer, owner, or seller, and then make good decisions based on your financial goals and the current market conditions. It's as simple as that. So again, I'm John Moran. Let's get started. So this week is about pricing. Here's why. This market is starting to feel a lot like it did back in 2007 to 2010, right? When we started to see the big slip in property values. Back then, prices started to fall slowly. It was slow, and then it was fast. And the decline hit hardest the sellers who bought in late in the cycle, right? They were at the top of the market and they needed those max rental income dollars to make this thing work, to keep them above water. Sound familiar? Then, as the rental income softened with the economy, right? Everything was dying back then. Many sellers jumped in the market and they were listing their properties high, trying to capture a buyer that wasn't paying attention. And it worked some of the time, but most of the time those sellers ended up sitting on the market, just stacking days on market. Killer. Because what happened with that low rental income and that huge monthly mortgage just piling up, the pressure mounted, right? A lot of these sellers ended up chasing the market down, and ultimately they ended up short selling, foreclosures, which further caused price erosion and all kinds of madness. It was rough. It was really, really rough. And this time, there's not nearly as many people that are in that position, right? A lot of folks have equity. But I do see a lot of these new listings coming on the market are the folks that bought in 2021, 2022, even last year, right? And these folks are at the top of the market, sounding familiar, and they needed that rental to be tough, to be top of market, to carry them. That's not happening right now. We're seeing a softening in the rental numbers. And here we go. And like back in the Great Recession, the people who bought at the top of the market were left with no buyers. And the only tool they had was low price. And back then, it got so bad they had to short sell and foreclose. It was brutal. We don't have that this time, thank goodness. This time around, I believe they're only going to have to lower their price. There won't be the short sales foreclosure. But some of them are going to get caught selling for less than what they owe the bank. Right? And they're going to have to bring a check to closing. That is a tough pill to swallow. All of these folks are going to put massive price pressure on the house or condo you have to sell, right? You might have a ton of equity and simply want to sell because it's time for you to sell, right? You've outgrown your place. You don't use it anymore. You want to go somewhere else. Any number of reasons, right? Unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with these other folks who have to get out, and they're going to cut their price no matter what. So let's address what you're going to have to do as a seller. If you're a buyer or a holder, yeah, we'll get to that in just a minute. But let's talk about sellers. When prices are going down, moving away from you, You got to get ahead of the market. You simply got to get ahead of the market. You got to make sure you are the next sale. Otherwise, you're going to chase the market down. I know that doesn't sound great. I know it sucks. All right. But the fact of the matter is this: your low price, this thing is going to be the next seller's ceiling. That's even worse. All right. So in a declining market like we have now, especially when it starts to move fast, get ahead of it. Just get ahead of it. If you're thinking about selling, call me. Call me. It's what we do, right? And let's talk about how you can position yourself so that you get the next sale and everyone else has to react to you. Okay? You don't want it the other way around. No, you want them reacting to you. All right? And whatever you do, do not chase the market down. How do you know when you have the right price? That's a question, right? How do you know? Well, because you only get a handful of showings and one acceptable offer. All right? No showings, you're too high. That's the way it is. If you get a ton of showings, multiple offers, means you're too low. All right? Now, the good news with that is if you're getting multiple offers, it generally pushes the price back up to where it should have been anyway, and you're fine. Okay? Here's another thing. Pay attention, right? A lot of sellers who are stressed because they're in this tough spot, the longer it takes you to sell, the more costs you're going to incur, right? Think about it. As all this time you're chasing that price down, that's more mortgage payments. That's more insurance payments. That's more HOA payments. Maybe it's even a friggin' milestone payment. Killer, right? If you're selling in this environment, get out. Get out as soon as you can. That's what I'm telling you. Again, if you're thinking about selling, call me, right? Because we can help you identify where the market is and where you need to position yourself to be the next sale, all right? This can save you tens of thousands, if not more dollars, right? We've had $100,000 price reductions already. Some sellers, tell me I don't suck, all right? But you want to be smart about this. You want to be the next sale, all right? Call me. We can help you get that figured out. It's what we do. All right, let's shift gears. Let's move over to buyers. Let's say you're a buyer in this market, all right? Seems like it should be super cool, awesome even, right? There's gonna be a lot of pressure there too, because you're gonna feel this need to wait until you get the lowest price, right? Let's wait until the prices come way down. Let's wait for that, all right? It's human nature, I get it. However, by the time you figure out the lowest price, it's because prices they're going up again, right? You missed the mark. And what happens then, and this is killer, is when the prices start going back up, all those other buyers start jumping in, right? It's you and everybody else, and that's multiple offer going on. Bidding wars. Killer. You don't want that. That's a nightmare for you, right? And as soon as the sellers figure this out, where do the prices go? Right back up. So be very careful if you're a buyer. You want to get ahead of this. Matter of fact, when prices are going down and you're the buyer, you want to buy at tomorrow's price today, all right? And we can help you do that. That's what we do, right? We're really good at that. 1,500 sales, all right? Here's the other thing, right? Okay, so what do you do? You're a buyer in this market. What do you do? First thing, number one, numero uno. Determine your criteria for buying. This is so vital. Do not go to this blind. Do not go by feel. That's what amateurs do. Professionals know exactly what they're doing. Here's what you do. Create a list of all the boxes that you need to get checked, right? In order for you to buy that property. Then, it gets so easy. Then all you have to do is find the properties that check all those boxes. There you go. You just buy the one that meets all your goals, right? And when you do get a property that checks all those boxes, you buy it. It's quick, it's easy, it's stress-free because the property meets all your criteria. Now, once you have all your criteria worked out, the second thing you need to do is align yourself with somebody, like me, right? Because what we do, get somebody like me who goes out and finds these properties for you. They either have off-market deals that are listed in the MLS, or just stuff they know because they run into people. We're very active, right? I think right now we're sitting on 60 plus listings. We're very active in the market. So once we know what you're doing, I will email to you properties that meet your criteria, that fit in your buy box, right? And then you just decide which one works the best for you. Such a good way to go. The third thing you do as a buyer is you need to get your complete team together. This is everybody. Your team would be your property manager, right? And not all are great. Not all are great. Some are better than others. Your handyman contractor. Here's the thing. Almost every property is going to need some work done to it. It's the way it is. Way it is. In some more than others, but generally you're going to need somebody to do some things. You don't want to get stuck doing that yourself. Fair enough? Okay. Now, the other things you're going to need are what? A money person, a banker, for sure. You're going to need to have your money situated before you make offers. All right. A bank, some sort of lender, where you're going to get your money. All right. Easy as that. Make sure you have all that dialed in so it's quick and easy to get. You want to be able to move fast, especially when these deals start to move fast. You don't want to get in that multiple offer situation. Now, there's going to be other folks you're going to need along the way, a designer, a lawyer, accounting, that type of thing. Folks you don't absolutely need right now, but you want to have them, in the offing for sure. You're going to need them at some point. I can help you with that. We do a lot of deals, so we have a lot of these folks already lined up. You can tap into our Rolodex. So yeah, if you're a buyer looking for that kind of stuff, I can help. Happy to do it. Finally, holders. Let's talk about holders, right? The folks that don't want to buy or sell, they're just going to hang on to it. Warren Buffett says, though, never just buy and hold. There's more to it than that, people. There's more to it. In a tight rental market, especially like we're dealing with right now, you want to make sure that you're positioned. Yeah, that's the right word. That you're positioned to get the renters. All right. When there's so many people fighting for so few renters, you want to make sure that you're going to win that battle. You don't want to stay with the status quo. No. Yeah, I'm going to stay with what I have. Well, you happy with what you have? No. Well, then why would you stay with what you have? Doesn't make sense. Here's some things you can do to maximize your position as an owner. Interview property managers. Not all of them are the same. They're just not. Some get better rental incomes than others, and some are better managed and some are just better run. I found that the mid-sized boutique type of management company is the best because they're small enough that they still give personal service, that they're highly involved, but yet they're still big enough to have all the bells and whistles the big guys have. You get the best of both worlds. And even better than that, they're good for you as an owner, but they're really good for the guest. And a happy guest is a happy you. Make sense? Sure. Second thing you want to do is make sure you update or upgrade your place. Renters have a lot of options right now, and if your place isn't up to snuff, they're going to pass. You're going to lose rentals, and that's not cool, especially in a tight market like this. Third thing is minimize what it costs you to own these things, and this is fairly easy to do. Install a smart thermostat. I use the Coastal Green Air product. They're good for me. I like them. They work. They keep our costs moderated, right? Because what happens is these renters come in, they've been driving the car, they're all hot, whatever. They race into your property, they open the patio doors or whatever and set the AC to minus 50 and let the warm, humid air blow in. Kind of a nightmare. So that sucks. But you can fix it. Coastal Green Air. That takes care of that. Do regular maintenance. This is such an easy one that people just don't do. Because here's the deal. Costs you a little bit up front, no doubt. But you avoid that expensive emergency trip. The AC guy that has to show up on a Sunday over a holiday weekend. Brr, that ain't cheap. That is not cheap. Another thing, blackout curtains. It's an easy thing, but it keeps your place cool. It helps on the AC bill. All those things. If you want to look at how you can capture more money, more rentals, give me a call. It's what we do. We're still getting good numbers too. I'll give an example. I've got a 2-bedroom out on Okaloosa Island, 2-bedroom with a bunk room. This past year, 2024, we still captured $105,000 in rental income. That's down. Yeah, it's down, but it's still pretty good. Still pretty good. Let's wrap this up. In some. All right, here's what we do. I lay all this out in detail, along with stats, graphs, facts, all that stuff that backs up what's going on in our local market and the national stuff. And why I believe what is happening, all right? These are opinions, it's knowledge, expertise, all that stuff, but it's based on data and fact. I don't say, hey, it's gonna rain because my elbow hurts. No, it's gonna rain because it's cloudy out and it's starting to fall already, okay? That's the way we do it. And as a final thought, we're wealth builders. We're wealth builders. We want to help people like you maximize your position as a buyer, a seller, or an owner based on your financial goals and the current market conditions. With over 1,500 successful transactions under our belt, we have become quite good at it. yeah, we're a good partner for you. And if you're thinking about selling, let's talk about your goals. Let's create a strategy to achieve them. And if you're buying, let's identify your criteria. And then let's go find the best property that checks all the boxes. Easy. And if you're a holder, well, let's talk about how you can capture the most rent and cut some of those expenses to create greater ROI. I mean, that's why you own, isn't it? There you have it. That's this week's Smart Beach Investor Update. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope you like the content. If you do, like and subscribe. I don't know, wherever it is, like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everyone.